So I work primarily with glass, particularly in flameworking. Through the ACES award, I was able to develop some new skills by going on a glass casting course. And I was also able to work with the anatomy department in Queen's, and I was also able to work with the scientific glass blowers at Queen's University. It allowed me to have more regular access into the department, and I was able to then engage with the students whilst they were going through the process of cadaver dissection. So I was able to observe and see areas that I wouldn't usually be able to access.
The ACES programme provides support to serious career artists and gives them an opportunity to be more aspirational in their practice area through working alongside a partner organisation of their choice who gives them support and mentorship throughout a year period. Andrea is an established craft maker in Northern Ireland, and she's built up a strong reputation as a glassmaker through her public realm and exhibition-based work. Andrea's proposal for the ACES programme was slightly more unusual in that she wanted to work in partnership with an organisation outside the arts, the Queen's Anatomy Department, and this introduced her to a completely new approach of scientific glass blowing, and she's been able to apply this to creating a new portfolio of work which will enable her to apply to some of the top craft galleries nationally and internationally, which will be really, really beneficial for her future career development.
So I suppose what I was really interested in was the idea of the overlap between the fact that a lot of my work is using very fine hand skills and using tools to manipulate the glass, and the overlap then with cadaver dissection of having to use tools to work with the human body. But the fact that maybe those students hadn't necessarily had a lot of experience in that area, and the idea of having to do something that surely has some kind of emotional aspect to it, but having to kind of be detached a bit from that to be able to do the job that was in hand.
There's probably about 10% of any given year at undergraduate level are largely artistic in nature, and they feel that they have to give that artistic pursuit up to pursue their career in medicine, and nothing could be further from the truth. That's the type of thing that we want to foster, and having Andrea here within the department and at the school has been seminal in getting that idea across, and it's been a very positive move for the medical school. So the Human Beings Being Human project explores and fosters the humanistic aspects of medical education and practice. It's been largely based around anatomical pursuits, but it's also moved off into more visual art. We've got groups of interested students together to discuss their interest in the art and to see how that aligns with their medical practice. So they've been doing representative artwork to look at ECGs for folk who have had terminal events, cardiac sense. They've looked at the human aspect of medical care, of the suffering, the humanity therein, and the expression thereof using artistic methods. The feedback has been very encouraging. We've published on this, in fact, when we did a thematic analysis of the students' responses, and that gave us food for thought for further direction in our ongoing work.
So we did sculpture workshops with them where they were manipulating wire and other materials that might often be found in the medical environment, such as plaster bandages and things like that, but then we were creating art out of that. So this is really sort of still work in progress, and it's a starting point, and it was based on an anatomical drawing of the arteries of the entire body. And I sort of have been carrying this drawing around with me for quite a lot of years, wanting to do something with it, and what really intrigued me about it was the fact that when you see the arteries all laid out, they kind of look like this idea of a tree. A lot of my work is based on natural forms and structures, and one of the last bodies of work I did was looking at the parallels between structures found in nature and found in the human body. And this piece is actually made out of ground joints, which are used to make chemistry apparatus, but they've been manipulated and stretched and bent and blown to form this kind of sculpture that's based on the arteries of the brain. So as a part of my ACES award, a component of that was set towards working with the scientific glassblowers at Queen's University, George Burton and Ben Healy. And originally I had thought that would be quite a small component of the award, but as I started to go into the work, through their sort of openness and generosity, they allowed me to come down to their workshop on a regular basis, which meant I was able to access equipment that I wouldn't have in my own workshop. So I was able to do things, for instance, working on lathe, working larger, and also they were teaching me new things. I would like to continue working through the work a bit more and towards the possibility of it coming together all in one place as a form of public exhibition installation at some point.